Oh boy. So I was just going to do the initial reaction with Dr. Burns and just being like, okay, yeah, that should be fine for a video. But then you've probably seen this video.
But if you are a 31-year-old man and you are defending this, you are being a dick eater. And it makes me so fucking... Are you memeing? No, I'm not.
Sorry, I meant this one.
Second, you're gonna play Alpha 2 for the rest of Alpha 2. If you get second wave, you're gonna have that date you start, and you get to play all the way to. You don't have to buy all 3 keys. That is not how it works. Just buy one key, and you get access to Alpha 2. That is how it works. I just want to make that very clear. You don't buy all 3. You just buy one, and then you get access from that date to the end of Alpha 2.
That's correct. Yep.
You do not get access to beta. This is only Alpha 2 access. If you want beta, we will maybe be offering another option for a beta in the future. But
they shouldn't have said that. They should have just not said that. That's not a good thing to say. Like, yeah, that's a bad thing. Like that. Yeah, you should not have said that.
To be honest with you, I did watch majority of it, minus most of that tantrum that he threw. I definitely think there was some reasonable points taken from Asmongold. But there was a little bit of information, so I just want to clear that up. Steven was in Jamie's stream last night, typing up a Reddit post. It does change the information that we know. So here is that Reddit post. Basically, it says that the alpha keys that are purchased for Alpha 2 will also be for beta. I know that's not what Margaret said. That was what was in Asmongold's video. Just wanted to clear that up. Anyways, here's the actual video I wanted to show you guys, but I feel like I had to do this little addendum for, just so that everything's clear and that we have the most up-to-date information. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. And I hope you enjoy my little reaction with Dr. Burns.
Bro, node sieges in phase 2, which is super soon. I mean, we're doing node sieges in December.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's freaking crazy. And
subject to change.
Yeah, you're right. And really, there are going to be so many delays on these things. We just know it's going to happen. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We know the delays are coming.
I was doing the AMA co-stream yesterday, and they were avoiding the word delay, and I was like, all right, I'm going to make this my thing. So yeah, if they give you dates, guys, if you're watching Ashes of Creation content and you see a date, just know you might get the big delay, okay? So, it might get delayed. It might happen. You might get the big D. You might not. It might show up right on time, right as you scheduled it. You might get your D appointment. But, I think a lot of these things, we have to temper our expectations whenever Intrepid gives a date. And I think that's something that Steven really wanted us to hound home as content creators, is like, hey, help us out here. We need your help.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
How did you feel about the schedule of Alpha 2 when you saw it? Like, how it's the Friday through Sunday for phase 1, then the 5-day thing for phase 2, and then phase 3 becomes persistent. Or then the 5-day, then the phase 3 thing becomes continuous.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna beat around the bush or anything. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. Like, they delayed Alpha 2. That's what happened. Is they gave you or they gave us a little bit of snippets of phase 1, phase 2, but really what A2 was supposed to be and always was going to be was phase 3, right? When we have all of the core fundamental parts of the game in and can play around with that, and the world is expanded. That's what A2 was meant to be, and it got delayed to May 1st. However, I don't care. I said multiple times that Alpha 1 or those keys or whatever were probably going to hit anywhere between $70 to $100. They ended up being $120 for phase 1. I don't think that was like a catch-22, damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. Like they were fucked either way. They just picked a price and sent it. You're either a scam or you're just giving away free money or something like that, and making the people that had previously bought now FOMO. So like it just felt really bad for Intrepid that they had to be in that situation. It felt really bad for whatever they could do. I don't think I would have envied to be in that spot as Margaret or Steven, but it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. Like, hey, they need more time. It's development, whatever.
Yep. I'm in the same boat with you there, that I don't necessarily feel like it was delayed per se. I understand what you're saying when you say that. I think if they had just said one sentence, hey, we know we said persistent before, it will eventually become persistent in phase 3. So we're sorry if you were misled by that. It eventually becomes persistent. I think that would have gone miles for us, man. Like, AGS is a terrible game studio in terms of how they treat their players.
Yeah.
Stuff like this feels a little bit, the communication feels a little AGS-y, right? Where they do something wrong, and instead of just acknowledging and saying, hey, we recognize, and taking ownership, right? It feels like there's not much ownership in this. There's not much ownership in, hey, I know 2 weeks ago, I know a month ago, we were saying we're going to be in Q3, but now it is in October. They purposely didn't say Q4. They didn't say delayed. It's like, hey guys, it's okay. Just take ownership of it though. Just be like, we were working. It's not, we're in crunch time right now. We're trying to get it out to you. We are saddened that we didn't meet this. And yes, it is delayed until October, but we're going to make sure that it's the best experience possible. Like, taking ownership of something would go a long ways for the community, instead of trying to co-opt the definition of persistent. Do you remember a few months ago, they're like, well, some people think persistent means, it's like, no. There is one definition of the word persistent. Right. It is synonymous with continuous. Though in the past, when they were saying it's there are going to be scheduled downtimes and stuff, they then gave the disclaimer for maintenance. So yeah. To say that we are in persistent Alpha 2 starting on October 25th is a misnomer. We're not stupid. Don't treat us like we're stupid. I understand there are a lot of smart people at Intrepid, but it is insulting to gamers when you don't take ownership of stuff like that. So I still think they're great. I'm not losing faith in Intrepid. However, this communication is bad communication, and if it continues along this trend, that is a bad trend line to be on, and I hope they rectify, because it's not something that I particularly enjoy feeling like I'm getting duped or won overed. Right? That's not great.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I've said this. There was a Narc video where he said that we don't know as investors to this project, because we paid the $500 package fee or $375 package fee or whatever. We don't know what we're testing, and that's Intrepid's fault. And I completely disagreed. I was like, if you put money into something and you lose it and the product ends up being shit, that's your fault. Like, you just made a bad investment.
Sure.
Like, so like, yeah, communication is really important. I think it really shows like their branding going forward, that the communication, what you said, is very, very important. I do think it would have helped us out as content creators if they did say that. However, I do know that they are very fallible. And when Steven was talking about how he hated crunch time and that they are in a state of crunch,
right?
I
he
thought
was
that was
to his devs then,
to his teams.
That was a good look.
Yeah,
right.
and that was the most authentic look I've seen from Steven And that was deep for me.
He was owning it, right? He was taking ownership of it.
And that's what you're looking for.
My recommendation is to do that with everything. Read the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, right? Like take ownership of it, because it is good to see, and it is a sign of strength when people do that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you full-heartedly, and I think that was an example of when it was good, and the communication necessary should be like that going forward to the community as well, not just his dev team, but also to the community.